In this program, we're going to be using character variables for the first time. We've discussed that there are two types of data, numeric and text. We've looked at one of the numeric data types, integers, and today we're going to look at one of the text data types. Text data can be broken up into two subcategories, characters and strings. Today's program will be focused on characters. A character is one single letter, number, or other mark or sign used in writing or printing. For example, if you ask a user to enter yes or no and you give them Y or in, the Y or in that they type is one character. Notice that one character is surrounded by single quotation marks or apostrophes. I always remember it by thinking one letter equals one quotation mark, while more than one letter equals two quotation marks. Notice in the example program on the screen that we have two locations that assign different values to the variable letter. After each of the two locations, there's a cout statement, which is why you see two separate outputs in the program output section. Any value that is saved in a variable replaces whatever value was stored in the variable previously. Please pay attention and notice that anything you put inside a single quotation marks will be treated as a char. Even if you type a number, if it is in the single quotation marks, it is actually used like a letter, and you can't do calculations with letters. In our program today, CharDeclare, we're going to declare, which is when we assign a data type, and the program assigns it memory to store the values. And we're going to initialize, which is where we give the variable its original or initial value. We're going to declare and initialize two, no more, no less, character variables for the data in the directions. You're going to do your worst letter grade currently in your classes, or what you never ever wish to see as your grade if you have all A's. And you're going to do your first initial. You will output the two variable values in a meaningful and formatted manner. This means you can't just output the letter, you have to include some words to make it make sense to the user. Then you will change your worst letter grade to a grade that you want or think you should have in that class. Finally, you will output your updated letter grade in a meaningful and formatted letter. Remember, output descriptive words in your couts to give the data meaning or context. See the examples in the directions. Only declare two, not three variables. Output the value stored inside the variables. Don't hard code output. You'll be using three cout statements, no more, no less. Make sure you format your code and your output with white space, which is indentations and blank lines. And don't forget to include full comments specific to this program. On the plan, first, let's sketch out the plan boxes. Notice that I have added a new box on my screen. Soon we're going to need to give the user directions before doing the input, processing, and final output. For now, though, we don't know what to do with that box, so we'll cross it out. We also haven't talked about constants yet, or doubles, or strings. We still don't know how to cin data, and we haven't practiced using calculations in our program. Now we're going to go back up to the variable spreadsheet and create our two variables. I think grade and initial are good names, so that's what I'm going to go with. I'm also going to mark their data type as char, since that's what this program is all about. And then I'm going to assign them some values. You will need to fill in the notes section with the important parts of the directions before ending your plan by filling in a program purpose and what the user will see in the final output. Finally, we're going to set up your program. We'll start with our normal three comments, the program name, the programmer's name, and the purpose statement from our plan. We'll add our preprocessor and using directive, and we'll set up the beginning of our main function. In our function, we're going to pull our comments directly from the directions. Number 1 in the directions says to only make two variables. Number 2 says to output the variables. Number 3 says to change our letter grade. And number 4 says to output the updated grade. So just a heads up, this is the last program in Chapter 2 that I'll be helping you set up the program itself. So make sure you know what to do on your own for next time. Have fun coding.